In the gospel today, the Pharisees target Jesus for breaking one of the man-made rules. They tried, it would appear, to constantly make people abide by their ruling. Wasn't God's, wasn't laid down in the law of God, but in the law of their own self-worship, that people could look up to them and see, oh, how wonderful they are, how great they are. Jesus and his disciples were going through the fields, and the disciples picked grain to eat. And the Pharisees said, oh, doing something that is not permitted on the Sabbath. They were not doing it for the good of their faith. They were doing it for the good of themselves, that they criticized Jesus. The thought for today from the writings of Saint Eugene de Mazenod ties in rather neatly with today's gospel, bearing in mind that these thoughts for the day were written 150 years ago, so no direct relation to the gospel of the day. But the thought from Saint Eugene de Mazenod's writing to his oblates: do with good grace what is good for the church. Do with good grace what is good for the church. In other words, don't do things that elevate you. Don't do things for your own glory. Do things for the glory of God. Things happen so often that we get a little bit puffed up with pride. But what we must do with good grace for the good of the church, for the glory of God.